Alright, welcome to the quarterfinals game of my this month's REV GP. I'm playing Consonance ramp against Kayiu, who's also on the Consonance ramp, so this will be a mirror match. And let's see, so this hand's, yeah, that's really good. Early game and some stuff to ramp into. It doesn't have Fairy Call Helion, which I would really like. Wait, Chromatic Shard isn't, oh, did I screw myself over? Huh, maybe I did. Okay, well, I'm hoping to top deck a land, I guess. Either I'm gonna be super rewarded or super punished by this. Actually, who's on the play? Because if they're on the play, then this keep would be slightly more correct. Oh, all right. I guess. Hopefully I top deck a land because this was not a very good keep otherwise. Yeah, maybe it's like it could be arguable. Oh dear. I did not keep the best hand that I could have. Okay, well, I still have a chance if I draw another land. Like this is so much early ramp. Yeah, they have their Elvish Witness. Okay, one more chance to top deck a land here. Oh dear. Alright, I need to start discarding cards. So, yeah. Actually, should I discard Grand Constant? I don't even know. I think I probably should have discarded one of my lower things because it wouldn't matter if I ramped into it. Like, Grand Constants would have mattered more than a bunch of Elvish Witnesses. Aren't Ascetic. Oh. I think what's gonna happen is that they're gonna drop Fury Call Helion and I'm gonna just lose. They flip a land off the Arn Ascetic, which is expected. I'm assuming they're gonna play something off this. Let's see, what is it? Another Elvish Witness? Chromatic Shard, sure. So right now I'm super far behind. Please draw land. Oh, well then. Yeah, this is very awkward. They get to whack me. Is this Consonance mana? It is Consonance mana. Alright, let's see what they flip. Like if they flip Silversong Ancient and blow up my land, like I pretty much just concede there. Actually, I don't think there's really anything I can do with my hand that would get me out of this. So I'm just gonna see what they flip and then concede after that. Snow Singers aren't Ascetic. That's surprisingly tame for what they could have flipped. Do they have a Planeswalker? No, it's just a bunch of stuff. All right, sure. Assuming my opponent just gets super bad draws for the rest of the game, I think there's still a chance because I do have enough ramp in to get out my own Grand Consonance. Assuming nothing gets killed. Certainly not good though. Let's see. Playing out Ofurl, and they're gonna minus face. Sure. Alright, one more chance to draw land. Oh hey, dead. Finally it's on time. I'm gonna fetch out a mountain because that gets me to Ofurl. Elvish Witness. Well, those aren't lands, so I'm gonna have to bomb them. Might I feel like I'm gonna end up playing all of my 2 drops and still not get enough lands. Max Shard, sure. And I'm assuming this is another Grand Consonance. Oh, Silversong Ancient. Yeah, that just blows me out the game. Well, at least I still have a bunch of, once I get to 2 mana, I have a bunch of mana dwarfs I can keep playing. Get to untap everything again. And Fury Call Helion? Yeah. Alright, sure. So now I'm back to single mana, unless they want to blow up something else again. Aren't Ascetic? Sure. Asahai? Yeah, sure. Can start looting lands now. Do I top deck land here? No, I don't. Alright. Do I just die here? Yeah, probably. Another Fury Call Helion? No, Asahai. Oh yeah, that just kills me, right? Yeah. Makes the emblem and then Anthems the team. Alright, that was not a good game. I didn't really think that hard was keeping. Okay, so these guys come in. Drift-offs aren't great because they get blown up way too easily. I only need them for dealing with Silversong Ancient, I think. So overall, Asahai, all the cards are kind of good though, so I don't know what exactly to cut. Yeah, maybe I can go down on more Drift. I just don't like Drift Off in this matchup because it's way too unreliable. Then again, like if I'm bringing out my Drift Offs and they keep in the Drift Offs, then they're pretty happy. Maybe I just bring out all the Chromatic Shards. It makes my Constances worse and it makes my ramp a bit worse. Okay, maybe I bring out some Braises. Like yeah, this. Yeah, I'll go with this. Alright, no early game. Is it still keepable though? I'm on the play, so any 2 drops they play I can kill with Elfroll. I think that's fine. And if they get ahead too much, I can bring down the house. I'll keep this iffy hand because I don't want to risk going down any lower again. Yeah, that's high. Well, that's something I can ramp into. I'll play out Contested Passage first because that thing's gonna be tapped. These guys can be untapped if I pay life for it. Do they have their 2 drop? No. Oh, I mean they do, but it's not killable by Ulfro, so that's a problem. Okay, what do I fetch? I'll get a plains because I want to cast Bring Down the House eventually. Yeah. Or actually, can you divide fetching or Luxurious is okay, yeah, I guess plains is alright. Sure. Raise. Yeah. Alright, so this is fetching forest here, right? Or it's fetching mountain. Because I might need double red for Helion eventually. Or no, I should fetch forest because I'm gonna work I'm building up towards Grand Consonance. And the double red from Helion can come towards or come from Luxurious Estate. So unopposed overall, hit you. And I guess I slam Asahai next turn and hope it does things. Notably, my hand doesn't actually protect me that well against Helion, because I have this non-basic that's looking really attractive for Helion. Their own overall killing my overall, sure. Unfortunately, Asahai can't kill their overall, so like we're both ramping pretty hard. Although they're one turn behind, right? Because they don't have a land drop this turn, it seems. But they're fetching right away, and they're playing Chromac Shard. Okay, so they have 6 mana next turn, so they can easily blow up my Asahai with a Fury Calhelion if they draw that. So I should probably play around like Studio getting blown up, which means I need to get red. I think I should just play Luxurious Estate. Do I play on? Do I want to fetch blue? No, that's like blue is only good for Asahai, so I don't need to fetch it now. I can fetch green in order to get enough mana for Consonance, and then just like use Luxurious Estate as an off color. Do I want to pay that much life? Like life does matter in this matchup because we're both damage based decks. I think I'll pay for it with life. I don't want to get Fury Calhelion stuck in my hand if I randomly or if stuff randomly happens. No, they can play Fury Calhelion, but at least it doesn't die to, or at least Asahai doesn't die to it. And then if they do that, I can braze the Fury Calhelion and do stuff with it afterwards. Ardent Ascetic, sure. I'm still 1 mana away from Constance. They're actually pretty close to Constance too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can Constance next turn if they have the lands to do that. Drift off. Oh yeah, that's something that can happen, and that's actually quite bad because I've worried out all my drift off answers. Consensus passage. Okay, so I just have to hope they don't have a Helion, and well, they can't play their own. If they had an extra land drop, they would play it off Ardent Ascetic. So I don't think they have an extra land drop. So that means they can't Constance next turn, which is good. Wait, Ulfro can get back. Okay, I think I'm gonna braze Ulfro to prevent that play from happening. And then do I suspend Bring Down House? Actually, yeah, I think I do that. The play here is kill Ulfro, swing at face, suspend Bring Down House, play Contested Passage, and then next turn play New Divide and slam Grand Consonance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can do that. Do I have to? Oh, I have to pay a life off Luxurious Estate to do that, but that's fine. Actually, it's gonna be a Contested Passage is gonna be untapped because I attacked this turn. So yeah, play Contested Passage. What color do I need to fetch? I fetch red, right? Yeah, I'll fetch red. Although that means I'm kind of screwed if my opponent blows up my estate and I draw a blue card, but that's fine. That's fine. So I will be fetching red, right? Yeah, I do need to get red in order. I mean, technically I can fetch white, but I don't want to fetch white here because I already have all my white sources. So yeah, swing at face. Let's see how they react to this. Sure. We contested passage, fetching red. Go overall and suspend Bring Down the House. And technically, they can also just play something like, okay, what can they actually play that screws me over here? Like, they can Fury Calhelion away one of my lands, but that's good, because then Bring Down the House blows up the Fury Calhelion. I don't think there's a super bad situation for me. Okay, Ardent Ascetic, number 2. Sure, that's fine. So now they don't have the mana to blow up lands, so I can Grand Consonance next turn. Maybe I got slightly lucky, because I didn't have to deal with them constancy me on curve. Pseudo Excelsior? Sure. Okay, that's perfect. Ardent Ascetic number 3. Fine, yeah, that's completely fine. My main concern is that they board wipe me after Grand Consonance, but that's fine because if they're board wiping, then they're not playing their own Grand Consonance. And I already got the value from all the ETBs. Fury Calhelion. Yep, that's gonna come down next turn, but that's for next turn, so I don't have to worry about that. I know, you're taking the Fury Calhelion. Okay, time to blow up the board. What do I draw? Drift Up. Cool, I can play that afterwards and get Asahai back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's, well, they have Fury Calhelion, right? So they're gonna blow up either my estate or a studio. I want to get my off colors even after stuff gets blown up. And I have Drift Off. So, well, they can't blow up both my sources. I think it is safe to fetch blue here. And I have the right colors for Grand Consonance, right? Yeah, I don't have to worry about Like that's triple green and then 2 off colors. Alright, time for the big top end. Let's see how good my Grand Consonance flip is. Okay, just making sure that I'm not drawing those cards. Okay, oh, well, this is disappointing. I get Asahai, I get Creature, Planeswalker, and Land. I think that's fine. Let's I blow up one of their lands and I get Asahai on board. Yeah, fine, like, it's fine. I got some value off that. Anyways, so Fury Calhelion blows up their studio. I mean, no point in not doing that. Putting them behind on mana is really good for me. If they don't have another land in hand, then... Okay, so, what do I do with... I mean, with Asahai, I always plus, right? Yeah. I mean, I can drift off to get Asahai back next turn, but it doesn't matter, because I can just... If Asahai survives next turn, I can just minus and then drift off, and then plus the other Asahai, and that's really good for me. So yeah, now I just pass the turn and see what my opponent has. Silver Sun. Oh, well, that's quite scary. Luckily, Drift Off answers both Drift Off and Silver Sun. So then I can get back Asahai minus Asahai and then attack with these guys. So that's 5. That'll be 9 damage, which starts putting a lot of pressure on them. I'm gonna fetch right now before I draw it because I don't want to draw a fetchable land anymore. I'm gonna fetch plains because I want to be able to. Well, it's either plains or mountains. I think I take plains here because I know exactly what I need the plains for. Meanwhile, do I play out the mountain? No point in playing it out early, right? So basically, if they have another Silver Sun Ancient, then drift offing the Silver Sun Ancient would lead to a huge blowout where they blow up my drift off, which gets back another Silver Sun, and then they blow up 2 of my lands, or they only blow up 1 of my lands, and I'm still in a good situation because I got Asahai buffed, Fury Calhelion going down. Like, I still get to whack them for 9 this turn, which is a pretty good swing. Puts lethal on board unless they have a way to deal with drift off. Yeah. I mean, I'm not doing anything else, so, like, it's gonna happen. Do I put Silver Sun Ancient below the real drift off? Yeah, sure. So, do I plus or do I minus Asahai? I think... Alright, so if they have Silver Sun Ancient number 2, they're gonna blow up drift off, and then they're gonna blow up Asahai. So it's better to just like make use of Asahai while I can. And I'm gonna set it to 1. Do I want the flying emblem? Yeah, none of the other emblems matter against Silver Sun Ancient, whereas flying might matter against other creatures. So yeah, just going full offense right now. I also get to gain a decent chunk of life off of this. So let's see if they have removal to deal with this board. If they have Consonance, they can just play it and then hope to flip a Silver Sun. Consonance can easily flip a Drift Off or a Silver Sun. And then at that point, I think I'm probably behind because I need to start top decking good stuff again. I mean, they can't attack with Silver Sun, but I can't attack either, or can I? Like, if Asahai survives, I plus Asahai, now I have a pretty large board, and then eventually it's going to outpace their board state, and then I get to try to swing for lethal. Also, I should remind myself to put Fury Calhelion in the tunnels if I can. Or if Fury Calhelion is the only creature on board, I should always put it in the tunnels because I might want to tunnel later on, but Fury Calhelion can always exit the tunnels. If I don't take this opportunity to tunnel when Fury Calhelion enters, I just don't get to have tunnels for the rest of the game. Having tunnels here would have been really good. Okay, so we're going to game 3, that's nice. I'm boarding out all of the Chromatic Shards now. I'm gonna bring in 1 more Drift Off. Like, Drift Off was useful there. Embrace was also pretty good. But Braze is like significantly less good, I think. And I think my original plan is probably better. Let's go with this source split, where my removal ratios are roughly the same. I also have slightly less Consonance hits, but alright, game 3. It's game for all the marbles, and this hand, actually, yeah, I'll keep this because this hand's good against Elvish Witness. Because if they have an Elvish Witness, I can Braze it. So I'm probably going to fetch Mountain Plains and hope that I can get my second white source off whatever aren't aesthetic flips. Actually, now I won't think about it. Maybe my opponent started boarding out Elvish Witnesses for Chromatic Shards because Chromatic Shard doesn't die to removal on 2. Huh, maybe they did do that. I should have done that too. Well, I don't know. Are they gonna play out no 2-drop? Okay. Well, hopefully I draw my own 2-drop then. No singers? Well, I guess I'm gonna have to be fetching blue sometimes in the future. So on 3 they can play Aren't Aesthetic, which I can Braze to prevent a land drop. Is that worth it? Or do I save the Braze for something more impactful? Actually, yeah, I think if they play Aren't Aesthetic, I'm gonna Braze it. If they play Ulfro, then that's too bad. I don't get to do anything against that. But yeah, on the off chance that they do have Aren't Aesthetic, I'm going to try to braze it. Okay, please be an Aren't Aesthetic. Darn, it's Ulfro. Alright, I don't get to stop the ramp. So now I guess I just have to ramp on my own with Aren't Aesthetic, and they get the Fury Helion first, which is not great for me. Because, I mean, they get to drop their Fury Helion first. At least I get to answer it with Braze, but I prefer them to not have Fury Helion, you know? In fact, I'm going to play New Divide untap so that they can't Fury Helion it. Or, well, I mean, it's going to be on curve, so it doesn't matter. Okay, maybe also, so if Aren't Seg flips on untap land, I'm going to play New Divide untapped. I think that's the logic I'll go with. And let's see, Drift Off. That's a lot of lands. How much do I want to play around Fury Helion? If I get Helion, I'm going to Braze it, and then what happens? I'm basically just really far behind from getting my own. At the same time, like, how much life am I willing to lose to play around Fury Helion? I can't take Forest, but then I'm mastering myself, because, like, I need double white for Drift Off eventually, too. I think I'm going to play New Divide untapped. I'm going to take New Divide and play it untapped, because I just want to play around Fury Helion as much as possible. And if I do that, so they Fury Helion that aren't aesthetic, but that's fine. I already got the value off the aren't aesthetic. Or actually, if I just play these lands, that means aren't aesthetic survives to the next turn, and I can still get an untapped source. Actually, yeah, I think I'll go with that logic then. So yeah, I'll play Pseudo Excelsior this turn. In that case, I should probably take an untapped land for next turn, so Forest, I don't lose way too much life, and then play Pseudo Excelsior tapped. Unless they have a way to both kill Aren't Aesthetic and one of my non-basics, I'm going to be able to play a 5-drop next turn. Yes, technically they can bring down the house, but I don't think they want to bring down the house in this board state. They can also just slam one of their big planeswalkers, but that's fine because it doesn't deal with my ramp, or it doesn't deal with my mana situation. If they play Asahai, I can drift off Asahai, which kind of the same situation that we were in last round. Okay, so if they play Fury Helion, it prevents the Snowslinger's attack plan. Okay, there's Fury Helion. So do you blow up the land or the Aren't Aesthetic? You blow up the land. That's expected. Alright, what do I draw? Contested Passage. Now, that's actually quite convenient, I think. Well, no, the timing doesn't work out. Okay, so here I need to pay 2 life in order to play New Divide, and then play Snowslingers. So then I'm still super far away from double white, but I can keep up Braze for Fury Helion. But I don't want to let them ramp with Ulfro again. Actually, I can... actually, this happens on attack, so I can raise a Fury Call on attack and hit Ulfro for 1, and that prevents them from minusing Ulfro. So that limits their ramp potential. Yeah, that seems really good. Alright, so wonderful plan. I get to activate Snowslingers and do stuff. So drawing 3 cards. Nice. Ooh, that's some pretty good cards for next turn. I can Braze the Fury Call and also play Elvish Witness, and then that gets me to grant Consonance mana for next turn, if nothing happens. Anyways, I'm going to attack Ulfro, get the first counter or Snowslingers on the first mode, and then raise the Fury Helion before it blocks. Perfect. So now I play Elvish Witness, and that helps me get better draws next turn. I don't know, do I want that? Actually, I want the planes because otherwise I'm going to mana screw myself. Like I learned from one of the previous games, I only have 2 white sources, or 2 fetchable white choices in my deck, so if I don't keep my planes on top, I'm going to run out of fetchable white sources and then not be able to cast my Drift Off. I don't think I need Ulfro number 2 though, so I'm going to bomb that, I think. Yeah, I think so, right? Because I already have all the lands in my hand to grant Consonance. Unless they have another Fury Call. No, they can't even Fury Call Helion on my lands. So yeah, I do this, and then I pass the turn. Alright, they have 6 mana. They can kick Drift Off. No, they play their own Aren't Aesthetic. Yeah, sure. I mean, this is just an Aren't Aesthetic matchup, right? You play Aren't Aesthetics, and then you try to flip into good stuff. Do they have an answer to my own Aren't Aesthetic? Because otherwise, I'm just going to be playing out Grand Consonance next turn. Actually, even if they do have an answer, I have Elvish Witness, so they basically need to wipe the board in order to prevent me from playing Grand Consonance next turn. New Divide. Sure. I think right now they're thinking about which one of my creatures to remove. That seems like the most likely. Or they're thinking about what to discard off Ulfro. Drift Off? Oh, yeah, Drift Off. Alright, which one do you take? If you get rid of Elvish Witness, I'm just gonna play out 2 lands next turn and still be able to do stuff. Is there a point in attacking with Aren't Aesthetic? Because it's just gonna get blocked and it's gonna use up my Snowslingers for no good reason. I think I'll keep back Aren't Aesthetic to keep Snowslingers around. Oh wait, they're not gonna plus Ulfro? No, they're gonna plus Ulfro, right? There's no point in not doing that. I guess if I flip my own Fury Helion, I can blow up the Aren't Aesthetic, and then hit their all-throw down to 0. They're gonna plus. Are they gonna sack a land? Huh. All right. I mean, that's a really good situation for me because now they're off Consonance mana again. Anyways, did I play out Contested Passage this turn? The benefit of playing out Contested Passage right now is that it lets me actually get to play something untapped off that. Like Contested Passage, fetch planes, play the planes, then I actually have Drift Off up next turn. Because otherwise, like this is gonna be tapped, so I won't be able to play Drift Off on curve, or I mean next turn. Actually, I think I should I should just grant Consonance first because I want to see if I can blow up the Aren't Aesthetic. So it happens, and let's see what I get. Oh, nice. So Furical Hellion, Snow Singers, Ulfro. Okay, this is like the nuts, right? Got all of the cards. So yeah, this is a very good Grand Consonance. Let me just sort these guys out. So this guy is definitely going into tunnels because I need to remember to open up the tunnels when I do stuff like this. This guy's at 3 counters. Furical Helen, yeah, let's blow up Aren't Aesthetic. So Snowsinger will draw 3 cards. Oops, on hotkey. And Ulfro's gonna blow up their Ulfro. Yeah, I have stuff to get back. So Ulfro blows up their Ulfro. I'm gonna get back Contested Passage. I'll get to tap everything again next turn, or off the Snowsingers. Cool. So attack face. So Snowsingers untaps. So those guys untap. This goes to the yard. Guy gets its first counter. Oh, right. No haste on Helion. Keep forgetting that. Well, anyways, I get to tap all of my lands again. Contested Passage is fetching now because I'm out of fetchables. Huh. Okay, that's cool. What do? I play Asahai and then plus her, I guess. Yeah. And yeah, I'll put them in the tunnels because why not? And then that's a really good turn for me. Let's see if they have their own Grand Consonance to flip the game. They're at Consonance mana if they have a land drop. Wait, no, they're not because they don't have enough green. Oh, okay. Yeah, they need to wipe the board here. And even if they do wipe the board, I still have these Planeswalkers. Or they can double drift off. I mean, that also works. But guess what? I also have my own double drift off. They're gonna take Asahai and what else? Furical Helion? Ulfro? Sure. You have a board wipe? Is that why you're leaving Furical Helion around? Well, anyways. Oh, that's a convenient top deck. I just play this thing. Yeah, it's good because it plays around board wipes too. So yeah, that's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna tap like this. All right. Yeah, I get to do this. They're all going into tunnels because I should play minus now in order to get some damage in. So these guys are all gonna get flying because flying is good, and I just whack them. I'm still gonna hold back Furical Helion in hand to play around board wipes. I'm certainly in a very good situation right now. Like, even a board wipe doesn't really save them because Silversong Ancient comes back. They need Drift Off plus a board wipe, which they don't have the mana for. Oh, Drift Off again? Yeah, that also works, I guess. Unfortunately, Drift Off gets answered by my own Drift Off, and then that's gonna bring back Silversong Ancient, which is gonna do stuff. Or actually, I can just Spherical Helion them in the face and they die. So, but you know, doing my own Drift Off is way cooler. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. Oh, Celsius and Grave, right? I forgot. So yeah, all right. That was certainly something. I guess I just pulled ahead, and then the first Grand Consonance just completely swung the game. That definitely does show how volatile this matchup is, where you have these super swing cards that can just win the game on their own, and you just have to hope to get them down before the opponent does. Although I guess in Game 3, like, there was some decision to be made. Or no, there wasn't really much of a decision to be made, but like the realization that if they have Furical Helion, they still can't prevent me from Consonancing next turn, which means it was completely safe to play that tap land. Well, anyways, that means I'm moving it on to the semifinals, so that's gonna be fun. So yeah, see you next time.